is after a 2-day fast.
Yeah.
Now, what are you doing with this 2-day fast and why?
All right, so let me go back to the point where I said I cannot speak on anything, and I don't believe. And this, the reason I don't speak on it is because I don't believe anybody should speak on it if they're not studied in it. There's a difference between studying and reading something and then applying it and making it work, like Bruce Lee. You can read all you want, but the real experience is you living through it. So I'm not going to talk about fasting and what the upside and downside is, or the keto diet, or any type of diet unless I've done it. And so that was honestly after 2 days of fasting, just to see how I would feel and how strong I could be after 2 days of no food, and to understand what was the chemicals that were firing, what gave me energy, what didn't give me, how did I feel mentally, all those aspects. And so it was straight up. And people ask me, what kind of fast is that? I don't know of any other fast, but water. So it's fasting. Yeah. So it's 2 days, no food. It was actually, it was, I guess, close to 50 hours. It was more like it with no food, and then went in and hit some inclines, and that was the secondary thing, and that was 170 dumbbells for a nice ride of 8 to 10. So at my weakest state.
How was your state of mind during the fast? How hungry did you get? It sounds like a dumb question, but I like to hear people explain how they're feeling when you're going through a 2-day fast, when you're used to eating as regimented as you are.
Starving for the first portion, then your body will kind of shut down, and then you're content. Mind, now see, everything, and I go back to this again when I say what diet works. Whatever diet you like. You stay consistent on any diet, you're going to get progress. I will say this, there is no perfect diet. But with fasting, the clarity in the mind is just a given. It is so clear. You're so clear. You come up with some incredible things mind-wise. But you're fatigued, and you're also shutting down your own metabolism. As much as they say, hey, fasting's going to restart and everything, it's teaching your body to function in a different way. And especially for people that talk about it and say, do this all year long. Remember when fasted cardio came in? And then suddenly everybody says fasted cardio all the time. Well, no, that was actually something that was just applied to people getting ready for fitness shows in the last month to get rid of any extra fat they have. But suddenly it's now do it all year. Okay, now you're just teaching again. It's teaching your body how to function. So you're telling me, for me to get in shape, I got to stop eating. I mean, come on now. Is that where we're getting to? But it seems like we are getting to that point. And as we're trying to teach these people how to eat, it's not that we're teaching them anymore. We're actually just arguing against people that are saying the opposite.
Okay, so then what about the fasted cardio?
Again, during a portion of time during the year, if you've got something big, then utilize it and then go away from it. And again, go away from cardio itself. You shouldn't be all year long. And I keep going back to like what Mona looks like. And we can describe Mona, my girl, is 147 pounds. She had a baby 11 months ago. She was a former Miss Universe, but that was also 10 years ago. And she's already back in shape 3 months after having the baby. Well, why is that? Did she fast? Did she do a lot of cardio? No, we took her in the off season when she had the baby. We raised her calories. We let her body relax. Now that seems odd because today, mostly with social media, all these women want to stay in shape. But they're an incubator for this incredible thing that's coming. So why wouldn't you just load the calories, make sure the baby's safe, have the baby, and then you just drop your calories a little bit and your body automatically moves forward. And that's all we did with her. And that's what I try to teach people. And it doesn't mean you have to have a baby to do this. It just means anybody. If we can take time off, if extreme workouts, 3 to 4 months, no cardio, training at 70%, making sure you're taking in carbohydrates so your body understands what it's doing with the carbohydrates. And then raise that level up when you got a TV show or something. Then your body automatically changes. And it doesn't matter if you're 30 or 20 or 50.
Okay, so right now where you're at, you always maintain a very low percentage of body fat. And I think, again, it's genetics, it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of due diligence on the nutrition. So right now, are you employing cardio?
Right now is probably the worst shape I've ever been in the last year.
Boy, you lucky I'm crawling
I
across
know.
that desk and
I
punch
know.
you in the mouth.
And I'm glad, because when they see photos of this and they say that, what I did this last year was I guest posed. And this is what I tell everybody. I said, don't do what I'm doing right now. I am still studying this, and I'm still studying the body. And I get more enjoyment out of that right now, because I already competed. I already did all that. So how much can I learn now about the body? Mostly at this stage, because now it's a whole new, I'm now 50. So what can I do, and how much more advanced can I get, or keep, or can I get better? Because everybody says what? After college, you peaked. That's it. Okay. All right. 30 years old, you peaked. That's it. Well, 40 years old. Well, now I know 50-year-olds. I know 60-year-olds that look like freaks now. So what are they doing? What is it? What's that longevity? Because I think you and I agree on this, that longevity isn't you live until 110. It's how long can you function and have a great quality of life. That's longevity. How can you go in at a 50 and go against the current strongest man and beat him on lifts? Well, wait a minute. Not just a strong man. I'm talking about the current world's strongest man. That's kind of fun. That's the kind of tussling you and I like, right? And that's the kind of stuff that I'm trying to teach people. And so right now, even though what I'm doing is hurting my body in a sense by staying in a deficit, by continuing to try these different diets, the one thing I do know is there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I understood a lot more this year than I've ever known. So which is great on the learning aspect of it, but I also understand how much better I can get now in this next year.
So then you're saying you're at a deficit right now, but you're not doing any
Oh,
cardio.
no. I'm doing cardio, I'm doing a deficit, I'm doing fasted, I'm doing different styles of dieting. Every 8 weeks to 12 weeks, I'll do a different style to find out. I even thought about doing, we attempted a vegan diet. But the studies just show so much deterioration to connective tissue that it's against my principles to even try that, mostly at this stage in my career.
Some of our buddies have gone vegan or vegetarian. I said, because my wife has been a vegetarian for a very long time, she just doesn't like the texture of meat. And so at 18, when she didn't have to eat everything on her table as mandated by her father, she decided, hey, I'm not eating meat anymore. And it's worked well for her. And anytime we get our blood work done, it is premier. Me, hey, I lasted about 6 days. And am I a fan of the carnivore diet? It's for some people, it ain't for me. Am I a fan of meat and vegetables in my diet? Absolutely. So if you say you're at a deficit and you're walking around right now, what are you, 260?
265, yeah.
265, a lean 265. So what is your caloric intake? Because I'm guessing you got to know if you're at a deficit.
Yeah, I'm at 2,200, which is nothing. And you know that.
That's why
Mostly
my eyes are so
260.
big right now.
Yeah. Mostly the way I train and the amount of cardio I do.
2,200 calories?
Yeah.
How long have you been on that?
I'd say at least 12 weeks now, I'd say, easily. 4 months? 4 months. Mona just gave me the 4 months.
And you're still smiling.
And I'm still smiling. I know. I'm smiling here. Mona would say different later.
Okay, well, I got 3 pages of questions, but they're my meathead questions. Let's get to Jeff, because you put out.
Well, you said something earlier, and I want to jump back before I forget this. You said something, because I'm curious about this. Because leading into these questions, I kind of know some of the questions are going to be, a lot of them are injury questions. How do you come back? How do you stay healthy? How do you have longevity? How do you travel the roads and get your workouts and all those kind of things? But one of the things that you said earlier is, like, when you were 20 and 30, and I was the same way, we were freaks. We were big. We could eat, and your body would utilize it. What is it how much more do you know now about body and nutrition and how to train for you? And what would you have said to your young self? Because if you're 20 or 30, you should be in shape. You really should be. Your body is functioning so well at that stage.
I cannot argue with that. At that age, there's no reason. I mean, unless metabolically there happens to be something wrong with a person. I mean, because everybody has a different set of genetics. But yeah, just for regular everyday people to just be really, really, really bad out of shape, not a whole lot of excuses.
It's not, right?
No, but to ask you, and I don't want to go too far down that road
Okay,
because, like I said, some people are, whatever, they have a condition. But just as far as, am I smarter now than I used to be, just as far as my knowledge of nutrition? Man, I'm that guy that just, would rather have somebody really, an expert, help me with that stuff.
I understand.
But I would say probably I'm smarter than I was, but that's why I like speaking with people who that's what they do, because they have a better bottom line. It's like someone watching wrestling. They love it, they'd like to do it, they think they know something about it, but if you want to talk to me about it, I probably have a PhD level of understanding. So my nutritional understanding, I get the brass tacks of it, and I'm not an idiot. But I guess it's the application of it and not overdoing cardio or this, that, or whatever. To answer your question, I'm probably give or take about the same.
What do you think is the number one thing when it comes to nutrition? Do you think it's carbs? Is it protein? Is it fats? Or is it consistency?